Hey fight fans, welcome back to the Fight Book. This is the Indian Western guy, and today we have a lot of big news that you're definitely gonna like. Dricus Duplessis condition, Khamzat Chimaev versus Caio, Ilia Topuria in the main event of UFC 317, road to UFC 2025, and a lot of new big fight announcements from the UFC as well as from the boxing world. So without wasting any time, let's start the video. First, let's talk about Dricus Duplessis' condition. We already know that he is injured and he has pulled out of his fight against Khamzat Chimaev, which was supposed to headline UFC 317 International Fight Week card. Now, Caio says that he has heard Dricus Duplessis have a broken shin from training low kicks and could be out for at least 7 months, which means he is not gonna return before 2026. Which also means UFC is gonna definitely make an interim middleweight title if Dricus Duplessis doesn't vacate his belt, unlike Jiří Procházka. Anyway, Khamzat Chimaev and Caio go back and forth on Instagram, where Khamzat says, if we will fight 100 times, you will never win. If somebody knows, you know that, bro. And this is a reference from their training sessions. Khamzat and Borralho trained in 2022, and after his training sessions, when he was asked who was the toughest guy he's trained with, the fighting nerd had responded that it was Khamzat Chimaev. Anyway, Caio responds that if you say so, sign the contract and we will see. Caio says he will not finish Khamzat Chimaev if they fight. He says it will be a strategic 5-round decision. The first round will be tough, but it will get easier as the fight goes on, Caio thinks. Anyway, the biggest news on this Fight News episode is that Ilia Topuria is going to headline International Fight Week UFC 317 card. Yes, it is reported by valid sources that Ilia Topuria will be the new headliner because the UFC doesn't want an interim title fight to be the headliner of that big of a card. Ilia Topuria is now confirmed as the headliner. Now the question is that who is going to be his opponent? And the answer is that Islam's current plan is to fight for the welterweight belt if Jack Della Maddalena wins. But as now UFC have a condition, they may try to convince Islam to fight Ilia Topuria. But if Islam Makhachev doesn't fight Ilia Topuria, Topuria will be fighting Charles Oliveira. Oliveira also posts on his IG with mentioning the return. Ilia Topuria has already started his training camp for UFC 317 fight, and he will be ready whoever UFC puts against him. Oliveira had also previously said that he wants to fight for the title next, and if he have to fight Ilia Topuria for the title, he do not care. He will fight anyone as long as he is fighting for the belt. Now, from Islam Makhachev moving up to the welterweight division situation, Jack Della Maddalena was asked that if he would fight Islam Makhachev if Islam Makhachev moves up and he wins the belt from Bilal Muhammad. And Jack Della Maddalena said that he would like to fight Islam Makhachev in Perth as Volkanovski's revenge. But the welterweight division has also a situation as the number one contender Shavkat Rakhmonov's coach Eduard Boros says that Rakhmonov is now healed and now he can train fully and is expecting to return in the octagon in this October. Which means if Islam Makhachev comes up to the welterweight division, Shavkat's title shot is compromised. Anyway, Ian Machado Garry was also asked that if Islam Makhachev moves up and Garry also beats Prates this weekend, would Garry like to fight Islam Makhachev? And Garry said he would love to test himself against Islam as he thinks Islam is an absolute disaster for everyone in the welterweight division. Interestingly, Ian Garry is trying to promote his fight very hard. He has dropped a promo for his upcoming fight against Prates on his Instagram account and had also called Prates a quitter. Now Prates responds to the quitter remarks and says that he's been in the company for a year, 2 main events, 4 bonuses, 4 knockouts, while Garry is here about 4 years, but he never had a main event. Prates says that Garry should thank him for having a main event and a big paycheck. And Garry replied to him like every UFC fighter replied to others, I'm gonna finish you, etc. etc. Now let's talk about new UFC fight announcements, and we're gonna start it from the road to UFC 4 round 1. This time again there will be 4 divisions: flyweight, bantamweight, featherweight and lightweight, all men's divisions. Brackets are set, which you can see on your screen. From India, there is only one fighter, 27-year-old flyweight, 8-0 undefeated, Mirdul Sahika. Then there is a big fight added at UFC Baku June 21st card, headlined by Hill vs Roundtree Jr. And it is a lightweight bout where Azerbaijan's own Nazim Sadikhov will return in his country and fight Nicolas Mota. Sadikhov is 3-0 in the UFC, while Mota is riding a 2-fight win streak. Then 2 featherweight fights are added on UFC Vegas 106 May 17 card, headlined by Burns vs Morales. First one is Sodiq Yusuf, who is riding a 2-fight losing streak and had won last time in 2022, versus Myron Santos, the 2024 Ultimate Fighter, who is currently 2-0 in the UFC. Second fight is Melchizedek Costa versus Julian Erosa. Both fighters are riding a 3-fight win streak, and this is an underrated banger. And lastly, Shamil Gaziev is out of his fight against Sergey Spivak at UFC 316 card, headlined by Dvalishvili vs O'Malley. And for this fight, UFC have already found the new opponent, and this is going to be number 11 ranked Waldo Cortes Acosta. Number 7 ranked Spivak is coming off a TKO loss to Jailton Almeida, while Acosta is 6-1 in the UFC 4-fight win streak, coming off a knockout win over Ryan Spann. And that's all in this UFC section. Now let's talk about some boxing fights. First, we have Tommy Fury's fight announcement, as 10-0 Tommy Fury will return on May 9th in Budapest, Hungary versus Kenan Hanjalik, who has a record of 4 wins and 1 loss. His elder brother 4-0 Roman Fury will be the co-headliner of the card, and he will take on Joseph Pibar, who has a record of 7 wins and 5 losses. Then a big lightweight fight is added on Jake Paul vs Julio Chavez Jr. undercard on June 8th at Anaheim. Golden Boy's lightweight prospect, 18-0 undefeated Floyd Schofield, will be taking on MVP's lightweight prospect, 19-0 Lucas Badi. Schofield is ranked higher than Badi in WBA rankings, while he is lower than Badi in IBF rankings. He recently ducked Abdullah Mason fight by asking 2.5 million purse, so he is still getting criticism for this move, and if he loses this fight, his aura will be in minus. And that's all in this video, as now you are completely up to date with the fight world. If you like my work, you like the video, you know what you are supposed to do. Just share your thoughts in the comment section, because positive feedback is my motivation, and then do whatever you want.